Yo, what's happening? How is everybody doing here? It is July. It is hot AF, but that won't stop. None of this wrestling content that's coming your way, man. And there's a good amount to talk about. A lot of foreshadowing to do again this week, as well as letting y'all know that the FBC be right. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's the most important thing as we talk about wrestling like nobody else in the world. So let's get ready. Let's get ready for the first Black Champ podcast. And I'm still the pick. Camp from the port.
And I am Jay.
Sound went out.
I am on mute talking.
Okay, I was literally about to send the message.
I need to put some money. I need to put some money in the goddamn pot now. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download your favorite podcast. Listen to us on the Barbershop Network along with a whole other slate of podcasts. Yeah. But to get ours, make sure you search the FBC POD, and you'll get all of our podcasts that's currently on the network. Make sure you follow us on everything, the FBC POD. Make sure you go ahead and get that merch. You see Cam got on that period red, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bow, you know. and we gonna go ahead and get started. A real quick hit. Something that now something that I'm actually shocked and surprised that has never been acknowledged.
Okay.
Especially in Vince McMahon's WWE. It has never been acknowledged. You've acknowledged Mickie James. You've acknowledged Molly Holly's. But you didn't acknowledge this one, I believe, until this past Friday on Smackdown. They acknowledged Bayley's ass.
Yeah. No, not at all. And I think it's it's a combination of things. I think it's a combination of it just being a new time, a new era, right? I think that's a part of it. And I also think because Bayley might have came across as one of them ones that ain't quite playing like that. It's like, nah, you really gotta push me and support me because I can actually wrestle. Like I'm not in here to get hit first, potentially. No disrespect to anybody else, but no bra and panty matches, no lingerie street fights, no mud fighting. She didn't have to do none of that. So I'm sure Vince is like, well, if I can't get that off, then screw it.
Yeah,
which is bad. Which is bad. It's not good. But I mean, hey, but it's here. It's here.
It's here.
I'm excited.
Looks like we're here. If you guys missed it, Nia Jax decided to call Bayley BBL Bayley. Now, it may have been because of the Drake thing, but in my thought was that should have been said weeks ago.
Yeah.
When the beat was there. Should have been done in April. May. May.
Could have been done in
It wasn't. I mean, yeah, it should have been done 2019 shit.
You know what I'm saying?
But it wasn't. It was done in the July, so it's very interesting that the WWE is doing things. But shouts out to y'all by acknowledging what we've been seeing since her debut.
Yeah, you know what? And I want to say shout to Nia Jax as well as Rhea Ripley, the two women that are kind of responsible for, cheek appreciation in wrestling for this era. They kind of kicked it off. Rhea with her
Mandy Rose
pins, yeah. But Rhea with her salacious pins and bringing back the Rikishi joint, and then Nia Jax kind of putting it out there like I'm Big Mama or Big Madam, however y'all want to say. You know what I mean? I think she's giving off that energy, especially as Queen of the Ring. But cheek appreciation is up in the WWE by the women that are competing. So, to a degree, that's okay, unless you're asking Becky Lynch about it in an interview. You do not want to do that. She's not here for your shit, so don't give it to her, okay?
Yeah, it just makes us think, about the type of cheeks that the former leadership in the WWE was appreciating. It seems like Triple H and Shawn Michaels are going out of their way to show appreciation, because if you look at many of the women in NXT, it's never been a day in the WWE where we've seen this amount.
Yeah. Hey, y'all gotta recalibrate that Tori Wilson pick, boy. I tell you that. you gotta recalibrate that Michelle McCool. You gotta recalibrate Summer, even. You know what I mean? You gotta recalibrate a lot. That top 10 to 25 ain't so what y'all remember it to be.
Yeah, because what's her name? Jada Parker?
Buddy. Yeah. See?
Yeah, it's wild times out here in NXT. For sure. We're going to have a little bit more of a different talk about NXT a little bit later. But let's start off with the women. Yes. And let's talk about the rumor that's out there, which seems to be right if you look at NXT, because NXT does have a mid-card women's title. They have the North American Women's Championship, yes. Who's currently held. It is currently held, by Kalani Jordan, who had a great match with was that Sol Ruka at NXT Heat Wave. Had a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction because that screen went black. You know, Peacock don't be giving. They don't be playing. Yeah. Soon it's a maybe. That screen just going black.
Like, we vets. We're not falling for this.
Yeah, we see Areola black. And shouts out to Samantha Irvin too. She's also on that list too. But anyway. But now there's a report out there that the WWE is working on mid-card titles for the women, a women's Intercontinental Championship and a women's U.S. Championship. So what are your thoughts about the ladies finally getting mid-card titles? We've talked about this before on the show. What are your thoughts around this? And if this is true, who should be the first holders of the Intercontinental and U.S. Championships for the ladies? For the ladies.
You know, this is actually a really good, a good thing. Obviously, a great thing. Actually, it's the perfect time too. I would believe, just based on the amount of talent. Sure enough, it's not that it couldn't have been done in 2015 or 16, and I totally get it. But even at that time, when they were remixing the women's Revolution/Evolution, depends on how you feel about, I guess, Stephanie McMahon or Trish Stratus and Lita, right? Yes, they could have done it then, but then by proxy or circumstance, the four horsewomen would have held all those belts, so they would have been the mid-card champions and the top main event champions. Now, though, with NXT and also the Smackdown and the Raw women's rosters, you have so many women that are just really damn good. Like, they're just really good. And there's a lot of competition. I think this serves better than the tag titles because we don't have a lot of real tag teams. And it doesn't also seem like many people are, well, not many people. It doesn't seem like the organization is really concerned with pushing the mid-card titles. So with that said, if I'm picking two champions, and I don't care which one because obviously they're going to be brand specific, but this could result in a trade, I think you give Lyra one of the titles, whether it's Intercontinental or it's US, because she's on fire right now. And and you know what? Hey, listen. You put one of them titles on Naomi. One of those titles on Naomi. Naomi and Lyra. Those are my two picks. And I think I got them right SmackDown and Raw. And if I'm not, but that means I think something else is going to happen. Not that there's nobody else viable for them. Because my other pick, especially based on not Money in the Bank, but the joint before it, I believe, I would also go Piper Niven as one of those champions.
So just looking at, like, The United States Championship is on Smackdown. So I'm going to go with the person who we picked to win the Money in the Bank. Hey. And that is Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green will be my pick to be the first ever United States Women's Championship championship holder on Raw. I guess Lyra.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go with Lyra. I'm glad. I'm excited. I'm excited for it, and to the point where I've said that main event should be an all-women show.
Yeah.
Like if they got speed on Twitter,
right,
with 5-minute matches and shit, you get main event for the women, and you can advance some of those storylines there, bring it to Raw, SmackDown, and then go from there. But I've been saying that the women need their own mid-card titles. They got the tag team championships. They need their own show so you can advance those things, because I'm worried about time when it comes to those belts. So let's just do it like that, WWE.
Yeah.
But one of the issues that we had with the tag team championships is that we felt like you just threw some shit together. You just threw two women that is not engaged in the storyline we need something for. We want to keep them on TV. We just give them the belt. Yeah. I also believe in this case that you don't have to worry about that with either of these belts, because you're going to put it in front of somebody that just need the TV time. I'm just worried about the amount of time that they're going to have.
No, I dig it. I understand that. Yeah, it's and to your point, see, I think this also is going to help level out the importance of the women's division, because, yes, everybody should be in their profession to be, number one and get the main title. But there are, because the talent is so stacked, and shit, you might even be able to say now we're in the first, or at least the budding gears of spot for spot. Women versus men in their prime, it's either equal, or maybe the women may have the edge on the guys now. And I'm not talking about your vets, so exclude Randy Orton from this. Exclude, your John Cena, even Roman Reigns. I'm talking about from like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins on down to the people that are, if we're calling this their prime or this is their moment, the women might be at a higher clip as far as talent and room to grow than the guys. So this is obviously, I think, actually the perfect time to have mid-card titles for the women's division.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But I am excited. If it's not if it's not SummerSlam, I'm excited to see when a tournament like this is going to take place. Shouts out to Ross. I think Ross is right. Mi Chen is going to be the mid-card queen. She definitely strikes me as somebody that will be the second. Like when you just give it to somebody the first time and it's like kind of like a transitional type of situation. She strikes me as like the person that's going to be like the second ever United States Championship, especially when she's like all of a sudden Bayley's protector, but then getting squashed by Nia Jax, as you saw on SmackDown. All of those things is just proof that she's probably going to be one of the early holders of the United States Women's Championship belt.
Hey, and you know what? And not for nothing, if Chelsea Green ends up being the first person, that's kind of the best person for her to go over on. So they could be like, oh, look, she beat a real competitor.
Right, like, hey, but she be down in the NXT losing.
Sorry, yeah, so, it's just the facts. It's just the facts.
So it is what it is on that. Now, let's just go ahead and go into the deep end, man. Looks like we're here. Solo versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. They came out with the poster. Got the new Bloodline on it. Yeah. So they're there now.
Yeah.
Even Camacho was on there. I'm not calling him Tongaloa until he do something. He's gonna be Camacho until until he gets there. But the way we're headed right now is SummerSlam, big match for Solo.
Yeah.
I think I would actually say, even discounting what we saw the other day at Money in the Bank, this is probably his biggest match since him versus Cody before WrestleMania.
Yeah, it is. For sure it is.
And
this one is actually for the title.
Yeah, and we kind of said when that match happened, this was a tester. Yeah. We said that this could be a tester, and now we're here. So what are your thoughts on now it is official, Solo being the number one contender, and how the announcement went? It was a little dramatic.
Yeah, super dramatic. I mean, the cut, long story short, I don't like it because I'm not excited about this. We're going to get to it, and I'll explain why. Solo did something in there that totally took my attention off this match. And so I'll stop talking here so we can get into that.
Well, I'm still not excited. Mm-hmm. I'm still not excited for the match. But the reason why is not Solo. It's Jacob Fatu. Even when you look at when Randy Orton came down and it wasn't even, but the faces started to get the edge a little bit.
Yeah.
They lost it because of Jacob Fatu.
Oh, yeah, as they should.
And, yeah, that was happening with Roman Reigns, and it's like Solo will be the person, but there's just a different look and a different feel, pause, when it comes to Jacob Fatu. Yeah. It is. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but it's just a different look and a feel when you see him hit somebody compared to when Solo does it. Even to the point where I know they out here rocking suits and shit, but they got to do something with Solo's, the bottom of the hem on his pants.
Yeah.
It's just like the suits don't even look right on Buddy.
Yeah.
Like, if he the street champ, be the street champ at this point. But like it does.
But don't wear your slacks like dress pants.
Yeah, it just don't.
I mean, like sweatpants. I'm sorry. Don't wear your slacks like sweatpants. I'm sorry.
Because that's what it is. Jacob Fatu feels like a monster. Solo feels like a seat filler. Jacob Fatu looks like somebody that will whoop Roman Reigns' ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Solo looks like the little homie that's trying to fit in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is, to the point where I know what y'all trying to do, WWE. Y'all don't even have Jacob talk. My man just be praying.
Yeah.
While
Solo does his best rendition of Belly 3. So, there's that. So
right. So no, I see what y'all trying to do. I ain't mad at it because Solo put in the work. I'm not even saying Solo move over. Y'all just got to turn this shit down a notch when it comes to Jacob Fatu. Tell him to dumb it down. At this point, that's the message that if I'm Triple H, I'm saying to Jacob, hey, dumb it down a bit, fam. You doing too good. You're amazing. You're amazing enough that you're outshadowing the Tongans, fam. We forgot the Gorillas of Destiny was behind y'all.
Yeah.
That's how good Jacob Fatu has been. We've forgotten about the Gorillas of Destiny. Camacho can go sit his ass down somewhere or just be the Uber driver, and that's it. That's where we're at when it comes to the bloodline. That's why I'm not excited about Solo versus Cody. Because the one that's getting over on Cody, who's making everything look realistic, the one who's giving them the edge is Jacob.
Yeah. He's getting over on everybody. I mean, hey, this is why the order of debuts is important. And thank God he was last now. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't, that's not the first guy you pick, because now you feel you don't need the other two. So, no, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. That is the other reason why I'm not really like vibing with the whole Cody versus Solo for the title. But they tried to plug and play a situation that ain't lit. Just being honest. And then on top of that, again, I still feel with everything you said about Jacob Fatu, I also still feel that Solo talked his way out of the main event and talked himself into a match I now want to see more. And now I kind of want to wait to see what everybody does, including Cody, when that match happens.
Solo, I liked you when you was the street champ. I liked you when you came through and you saved the belt against Drew McIntyre at the first Clash of the Castle. I rock with you. I just think you're being overshadowed. I think that the dude that they brought in last is just leaps and bounds better than you, which is also my concern. And I wanted to wait to see if anything else happened before I even said this. Don't bring no more. Don't bring no more Samoans or Tongans. Just leave everybody where they at. Everybody can't come to the club. Yeah. It is what it is. You might have on the right shoes. You might have on the right button up. But we the bouncers ain't letting you in. It is what it is. I don't need to see no more. Because if they ain't Jacob Fatu level, they just there. It's gonna get to the point where we're gonna have a Samoan NWO, and I don't want that. Every time I look on social media, it's let's add this Samoan and let's add this Tongan, and even on the show here, that's why I try to keep away from the add Naomi and the add Nia Jax stuff. Nah, let the homies handle it, let the brothers and cousins handle it, but we don't need no more. We're good. Because if they're not at the level of the ones that's there, why? And then if they are above that, you're going to start overshadowing people. And I don't want it to get to NWO level where it's just a Samoan the Tongan or is around, or somebody that just might know him, and it's like, yo, just add them to the bloodline. Nah, I don't need a Buff Bagwell of the bloodline. Yeah. I don't need a
well, I don't know about that.
I don't know. Nah, I'm straight. I don't need a nigga on the bloodline.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen.
I don't need it.
Hey, listen. Buff Bagwell. Hey, listen. Hold on real quick. Because one of the most underrated but funniest moments in Nitro history, people don't really talk about it. And I forgot who Buff Bagwell was in the ring with. But they were in Atlanta, Georgia at the Georgia Dome. And that's also the crib for him. And when I think the Falcons were either going to the Super Bowl or had already won. But he was making fun of the coach, and he started doing the dirty bird and started having a heart attack in the ring. That shit was hilarious. I was like, okay, Buff Bagwell has just raised his stock. He's the man. I've always liked Marcus Alexander Bagwell. Hey, but when he did that with the big slash hat and the overalls, he was like,
okay.
He felt like he had a heart attack. That's why you need him in the NWO.
Okay.
Close the door with him.
Okay. We can keep Buff Bagwell in. We don't need a Scott Norton.
At all. Yeah, no, we don't. Yeah, we don't. We don't need a Scott Norton, but we just don't need you in this.
We don't need a Vincent.
Yeah,
we don't need a $1 Million Man.
No Stevie Ray.
At the same time, I don't want nobody in the bloodline. I don't want that. Now we jumping the shark. I don't want a bloodline Hollywood an original Bloodline. I don't want that.
Hey, yo, Ross. Yo, you got. Hey, Ross, right? Hey, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, Buff Bagwell. Some of Buff Bagwell's best work was when he was the buff stuff. I'm trying to tell you. Hey.
Man, hey. Bloodline's supposed to be hard, man. We don't need nobody. We don't need our Bloodline doing like.
You right. Hey, listen, you right. You right for what the Bloodline represent. But if they is gonna jump the shark, they do need a buff back. Well, if they gonna do something different, then let it be the Buff Bagwell different. That's all.
No,
because you're right. Man, I don't want to make it seem like I'm against your theory, because you're right. But man, I tell you, just when I thought the NWO had got out of hand, Buff Bagwell started turning up, and I was like, okay, hold on. We're gonna say hit 3 more minutes. We're gonna say hit 3 more minutes because he wilding.
Hey, the fact that Buff Bagwell is your reasoning not to turn it on the Raw real quick. You see, the Stone Cold segment is amazing. Like, I don't know. I know Stone Cold about to go over on Hart right here, but Buff over here.
Right? But every week he got something new just to eat time. And sometimes it wasn't even a match. He just out there wilding. And I was like, yo. I'm like, he got a problem. Oh, man.
This show that turned into a Buff Bagwell episode, ladies and gentlemen. For those on a real quick breakdown on Buff Bagwell's career. Start off as Marcus Alexander Bagwell. Became a tag team partner of Too Cold Scorpio, who I don't know if he's still in jail or not.
Oh,
because
man.
he stabbed up a nigga, and he said it was in self-defense. Buff Bagwell is a part of quite possibly the worst and the most slurrish tag team of all time, the American Males.
Yeah.
Boy, you can't tell me that team was suspect. Or wasn't. Even the thing, that's the worst theme song. The American Males theme song is the worst theme song in wrestling history. It's not even close.
You know, you got me there.
That shit is so Blue Oyster.
Yo.
That shit is so Blue Oyster.
Oh, God.
The American Males. Oh,
man.
I don't know what the fuck was they thinking. That shit is so Blue Oysterous. He leaves the American Males. He leaves his partner high and dry.
Yeah.
To the point where Raven gave this nigga the drop toe hold onto a chair, and all of a sudden he's destitute and got one eye.
Man.
Then Buff Bagwell's trying to figure it out. He joins the NWO.
Brought his mom on the show, everything.
Yeah, Judy Bagwell on the pole matches and all that shit. Now, to cap it off, well, wait, he goes to the WWE. They say, man, who the fuck? The WWE turned off on everybody in WCW because of one person, Marcus Bagwell. That nigga wrestled on that main event on Raw versus Booker T, and they was like, oh, no. Let's cut this nigga after the match. Like, let's get him out of here now.
Right. Rough.
Wow, this is who WCW got? Oh, fuck this goddamn Invasion storyline.
Man.
It could have been a whole WCW slate of programming right now if it wasn't for Buff Bagwell. But
yeah, man. Unfortunately, should have not ready. I watched that. I watched that Dark Side too. It was a Dark Side or a WWE documentary, but I watched it.
Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, I was like, dang it. I was like, bro, I was sitting there, I was like, yo, I was rooting for you too, fam. I thought it was it. I thought it was your time. I ain't gonna lie.
Let me ask you a question, because I know we've sidebarred it real quick, but that's what we do here on First Black Champ. Marcus Alexander Bagwell or Alex Wright?
Oh man! Damn, son. Yeah, because hey, Alex Wright is my guy though. Like, hey, listen. I tell you know what? I'm gonna give the edge to Alex Wright because he came out the gate with it. Marcus Alexander Bagwell, and Buff the Stuff Bagwell are two different characters. And I liked Bagwell partially because he was with Too Cold Scorpio. So I do got to give the edge because, hey, listen, when Alex Wright came out there and was opening his jacket and he started dancing, and then he wondering, like he wondered why people ain't feeling it. But no, even though Bagwell got those moments, nothing trumps, all puns intended, I guess, this weekend. Nothing beats when Alex Wright came out when the Nitro Girls started dancing and got in front of them. It was like, he was hitting that shit. And he was hitting that shit. It was like, hey, look, y'all here to see me. Like, I'm killing it way harder than them. I was like, hey, so listen.
That's why I asked.
He hopped in on a different segment. It was like, nah. It's like, nah. Here we go. In the street clothes. Like that one came out there in Bugle Boys and a polo and hit the step in front of the Nitro Girls like they were nobody. And he kept doing it.
Hey, second WCW question. Who was the Polo and Wranglers king? Larry Sabisco or Arn Anderson?
All right. All right, man. You already know what I'm about to say about Larry Zbyszko. So we can honestly in this right here, y'all know the vibe on Larry Zbyszko. Hey, let me do y'all one favor. If you thought I had Greg the Hammer Valentine low, you don't want to know where I got Larry Zbyszko. Like, I'm going to tell you that right there. I will start naming jobbers that kept me more entertained than Larry Zbyszko. Hey, and respect to you, sir.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're not, you were actually really good on commentary. I did enjoy that. You're not totally worthless. I'm not saying that. But I don't have you high on a lot of my list. And I know what you've done, all right? Like, I'm just saying like that. I just say it like that.
WCW had all of the niggas that had the polos tucked into their Wrangler jeans with the black belt.
Yeah.
And the cowboy boots.
Hey, that was definitely the business casual wrestling attire. Like,
yes. That shit was business casual as hell.
You know what I'm saying? You had to come out there with the Izod Wranglers,
right,
and boots.
Now I know I have on the polo, but I have on fatigues, pants, and some old dogs.
There we go. Switch it up. So
I'm not in my Arn Anderson bag with the fanny pack. Yes, you're damn right.
Absolutely, with the fanny pack. The fanny pack or the big nickel belt buckle is one of the two.
Yeah. Boy, WCW had two fashion joints going on at one time. It was either the polo with the tucked into the pants with the belt, the Wranglers, and the cowboy boots, and the fanny pack, or the polo with the Zubas, or the tank top with the Zubas and the fanny pack. And the tank top was the long tank tops, so you could still see your man titties. And they strategically placed the fanny pack right in the crotch area, so they won't distract. They won't distract the wrestling hoes, the wrestling groupies and shit.
You know,
like rest in peace, right? Rest in peace, the Animal, because Animal floated between both of them shits. Animal one day have on the long tank top with the Zubas. and the gym shoes on, or he'd come with the polo with the Wranglers, the polo tucked in. Hey, Animal was a wrestling fashion icon, my niggas.
Yeah. And and then you got Hawk, who just always came like he just left the gym. You know what I'm saying? He always had on a version of Vince McMahon's Ico Pro suit when he was leaving the gym, except it was with the tank, with like the light parachute pants, tiger stripe. You know what I'm saying? All over. Like, yo.
Well, we digress.
Man.
Let me ask you this question. Solo says that Roman Reigns needs to acknowledge him if he returns.
Yeah.
How does this look at SummerSlam?
This looks
let me ask it in this way.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like to me it would be in the best interest of the family to have Solo win.
Mm-hmm.
So the Solo win defeats Cody, and then we see Roman, or do Roman say, if I can't have it, you can't have it?
You know what? That's a good question. And at one point, I was gonna say the latter, but now, you know, I think that we kind of remix and flip the story, right? SummerSlam. That's what started the tribal chief. Now here we are again with another person from the Samoan dynasty with a world title match at SummerSlam that is now already claiming to be the tribal chief. See, this is the interesting part. Solo claimed to be a tribal chief and ain't won nothing. Like, he ain't won nothing but the North American title before we formed all this. Well, no, I'm sorry.
He had to get it back.
Yeah, he had to get it back, yes. So, in my mind, there is a situation where Solo wins and then the music hits. And then it's just Roman sitting there. And part of me does want to see Roman Reigns come out, the leg get placed on him, and he reach out for the belt. And then Solo like, nah. And then now we know what Hell in a Cell or whatever that September pay-per-view is going to be. But the problem I have with it, Bang, is that this all involves Solo going over on Cody, and I just don't see that happening. Like, I literally just don't. That don't make sense for nobody, because you definitely, with just the possibility of Roman Reigns being back in the picture of this storyline, you now don't have Solo beat Cody, because now there's no reason for Roman and Cody 3.
I don't want that anyway.
Exactly. But you don't want that reason to be because Solo beat Cody, do you?
So, I think no matter what, after SummerSlam, I just thought about something that I can't say on the air. But anyway, follow me here.
All right.
I think no matter what, after SummerSlam, we're going into Bloodline Civil War.
Okay.
I think either way it go, we're going to get into some type of program that involves Jimmy, that involves Jay, that involves Roman, and involves the 3 niggas who matter in the Bloodline.
For sure.
Because Camacho don't matter. As far as I'm concerned, Camacho's Puerto Rican until he starts acting like a Tongan.
Oh, no.
Hey, man. So, I do, damn, Ross, you just took my shit. I see 2 things here. I see the eventual heel turn of Cody, because Roman, as I said a couple of weeks ago, is going to be the biggest face in wrestling history once he spears Solo. But at SummerSlam, what I can see is Solo winning with the help of Jacob Fatu. And then he is celebrating. They get the ones up, and then Roman music plays. And Roman comes out, and he's just slow clapping. And Solo is in the ring looking confused on what does this mean. Does he have the approval of the big homie and now he's the tribal chief? Or do the big homie got something up his sleeve? I could see that happening. And then that's when we get Roman on Friday, where it's the acknowledgement ceremony. It's the tribal chief ceremony. Now Solo has the right to be called tribal chief. And then what ended up happening is we see Jimmy show up. And Roman spears Solo. Everybody else try to pop up. And we see Jimmy pop up with the super kicks to everybody. And Roman grabs the leg. I could see that happening.
I like that.
But it's all contingent on if the WWE feels like it's time to give Solo the joint. Now, on the Cody side of it, now Cody's pissed, mad, and frustrated. And I think the WWE did something when it comes to Cody and Randy. What I mean by that is Randy was like, nigga, I'm the homie forever. You ain't got to worry about me. My word is my bond. I brought you in this shit. We straight. Mm-hmm. But I can also see where Roman is telling Cody, all that nice guy shit got to go out the window. G, we fucking niggas up. And he slowly becomes Homelander Cody. Mm-hmm. Now he looking at everybody like, I thought we was good out here. I'm doing this for y'all. Like he becomes Kurt Angle, good guy type Cody, bad guy type Cody, where Kurt Angle was like, nigga, I give y'all the 3 eyes. Now I'm an Olympic gold medalist. Fuck is y'all doing me for?
Right.
I'm doing this for the good of us. I'm trying to take down all of these persons of color. Like, this is what we are right now. Trying to take down all these people of color. Get this belt back. Me and Randy, we got y'all. So I could see that happening. But it's just all revolving around what they plan to do on SummerSlam. Mm. And I think it's not Roman getting involved in the match. Mm. I think what happens at SummerSlam is, and I'm not making a prediction.
Okay.
Let me just state this now. It is not a prediction. It's not my guarantee.
Okay.
But I can see Cody dropping the title to Solo and the Bloodline throwing up the ones, and then Roman Reigns' music pops up, and he's at the top of the ramp, and he's clapping, and now they got to figure out, is he about to acknowledge Solo, or he about to take the tribal lay, or whatever they call that shit, which leads to the Bloodline Civil War. Jimmy pops up, he helps out Roman because they're about to destroy him. And then maybe Jay pops up too. Mm.
I do like all of that. I guess a lot of it stems in my lack of faith for what Solo is doing right now, because everything makes perfect sense. And I do like what they did with Randy, because I've been watching wrestling long enough to where I'm just not going to trust Randy. How about that?
I never trust him.
But I love it. I love it for the new generation of fans. I love that for them to see this. I think no matter what, the thing about Cody Rhodes, and maybe they are trying to figure this out, is that somehow, some way, somebody's going to have to out-cool Cody Rhodes. And unfortunately, I don't think that exists for the same reasons. Like, if we turn back the clock, but we kept Cody at who he is right now, the perfect person to potentially turn one of these two guys heel would be John Cena or Cody Rhodes, would be the other person. Because they're two sides of the same coin. So now you can just pick who's cooler. I think we're at a dead heat of cool when it comes to Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. So I don't, even though I love the aspect of heel turn, I love the aspect of Cody turning heel, getting booed, this whole Homelander thing, but does his popularity waver? And with that, I don't know.
So, it's two things to that. One, Cody is a better heel than he is a face. He is the total opposite of his daddy. You go look at any version of heel Cody. Yeah. And I mean any. Because we are fans of every version of Cody Rhodes except the first one.
Yeah.
We rock with Cody. This is a Cody Rhodes podcast.
Believe it.
If you know us, you know we've been rocking with Buddy. Look, I was rocking with Buddy since fucking OVW.
Yeah.
That's how much of a day one Cody person I am. But you go look at Cody's heel versions and you go look at Cody's face versions. I think John Cena is a better face than he is a heel, even though he's an enjoyable heel, especially when you get Thugonomics John Cena. I think Cody Rhodes is a great, amazing, arrogant heel. So to your point, Cody got to be a heel if he go up against John Cena. Mm-hmm. He has to be the one that's like, I'm doing what you think you were doing, John. I'm bringing all this together. You was not. You was all for yourself. But also, to the cool part, there's one thing about the Cody as a face character that I hate. That nigga is too Rocky. And what I mean by that is not in the ring. No. I am talking about when Rocky is arguing with his wife. I am talking about when Rocky is arguing with his trainer. I'm talking about Rocky when Apollo is getting his ass whooped. Cody irritates the shit out of me when somebody is getting their ass whooped and he's like, take me instead. Let it be me. Shut the fuck up. All right, just like he's sitting up there, they tied him up and shit with the whole when they whipping Randy Orton ass. He's taking me instead. No, you know when I saw that shit, you know what I was thinking.
Yeah,
like Cody Rhodes be doing shit for montage purposes.
Oh yeah,
like, He do shit for montage purposes, G. And they know it. Like Cody Rhodes do shit for there's no easy way out. do. And this all good now. Like he do shit for that. And he do shit for like,
when WrestleMania comes, oh, this gonna go crazy.
That montage gonna be crazy. And said, take me instead. If you don't get your ass up out of here. That's why I don't like Face Cody, because Face Cody is Rocky 4. This nigga is Rocky. Only person that can do Rocky right is Rocky. I don't need Cody doing a montage with him in the snow, getting ready to wrestle some Russian dude. Like, that's the only thing that I was afraid of when it come to him and Gunther. You will see Gunther and Imperium take out goddamn Cody and Cody's friend, and next thing you know, Cody ass is in Russia, goddamn working out with logs and running up snowy mountains and shit. Like, nah, fam, no, just do some shit. Like Cody Rhodes would be the. This is a hot take. For those who listen to this show, I tell y'all that Hulk Hogan has been a heel since WrestleMania 3. So I stand on that. We'll continue to stand on that, even with the alleged reports of him firing a black girl from pushing his bed because she was black. Whatever. You heard me say reportedly, allegedly. All right.
Right. Yeah.
That being said, Cody Rhodes would be the greatest face ever. Cody Rhodes would be the greatest face ever if Cody Rhodes was born in the 60s.
I got you. Yeah.
Cody Rhodes would be Sylvester Stallone in wrestling form if he was wrestling in 1988. He would be Rocky for all day long. And I think Cody Rhodes takes a lot of his face mannerisms and all of that stuff from 80s NWA. Like,
for sure.
Like Magnum TA facing Nikita Koloff. Ric Flair facing Harley Race. Sting facing, like, he's the quintessential underdog in that shit. With that being said, when Cody when Cody goes heel, he be in his bag. The Rolex rock, like, and not Ric Flair wannabe bag. He's not doing this shit and all of that shit. Nah. He's like, fam, my daddy is Dusty Rhodes. He play all that plumber shit, Americana, all that you want to. But my daddy had minks and Rolexes and all of that shit too, Playboy. That's what I grew up. Dustin grew up poor. I grew up rich.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, to be clear.
Be clear.
Hey,
Dustin had the hardships. Right. Dustin had the hardships.
You know what I'm saying?
Not I. I was the captain of the football team. I got all the wrestling records. I had the Corvette driving to school. Xavier Woods wanted to whoop my ass, but he couldn't. Why? Because I'm fucking Cody Rhodes, bitch. That's the heel I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to get healed. I don't want Cody to be John Cena forever. Yeah. I want Cody to have a great heel run, which, if I told y'all that Roman Reigns would be the greatest face ever when he re-debuts in a couple of weeks, Cody would be the greatest heel. Because he's going to be looking like, man, I beat you. I actually beat you twice. As if it wasn't for your family that don't like your ass. Really beat your ass twice. Oh, so I don't know what you think this is. This whole, you hear my theme music. It's more than one family. But if we look at the landscape of the world here now, there's only one true family in wrestling. And that's mine.
You know what I'm saying?
And everybody, when you look at the landscape now, niggas gonna be in the crowd like, ooh, you talking shit about the big man family. Because technically the Rhodes did win this war when you look at it.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, Shane McMahon reportedly, allegedly just kicking the tires about going to AEW. If that ain't going to the ghetto, I don't know what is. If we were to ever see Shane McMahon go to AEW, that's, nigga, you talking about the ghetto?
Yeah, man.
Nigga, that nigga. Vince McMahon ain't even dead. He be rolling in his grave.
Right.
Yeah. Went over there. What the fuck wrong with you, son? Let's move on though to I'll continuously say he's the star of the show. And I know last week, my friend, my brother, my partner here at First Black Champ, as we celebrate how many years?
Oh man, it'll be that's July 14th. Man, it's 8 years.
8 years. So we've been doing this podcast for 8 years. So as the person I've been doing this podcast with for 8 years, as of now, I think the best moment he's had on this show is the moment of what happened on Friday. See, it's one thing to see the nigga you hate get their ass whooped.
Yeah.
But the way Jacob Fatu whooped their ass, fam.
Oh, man, listen.
How did you feel?
Sight to see, man. Yes, first of all, let me let me calibrate correctly. July 9th of 2024 marked 7 years of the first Black Champ podcast. If you have been listening since episode 1, we started this podcast on July 9th of 2017. And in that 7 years, man, we've given our opinions about who we like and dislike, who we champion, who the show is for, who the show is against. And the one thing I have been is extremely consistent about my loathing of Johnny Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And man, oh man, boy, did I already know the finish. So I was like, man, they got this too late in the show for me. That was my first problem anyway. Let's just be clear on that. Oh, we just tucking this all the way back here. I'm like, yuck. But then, as the match concludes, and as Fievel and his friend I actually like make their way, through there, and then all of a sudden that music hits, and then I don't even think music hit at first.
No, ain't no music hit.
I'm sorry.
It just ran out.
No. Yes. No.
Matter of fact, no. Grayson Waller ran. He said, "Oh,
yeah." Shout out to Grayson Waller for having great ring awareness at all times, because that helped get off what needed to get got off. Pause if necessary. But for the hottest free agent signing of 2024, the most impactful debut thus far of 2024, to come out and totally dismantle Ratatouille and my guy Tommaso Ciampa in an effort just to clear the ring so the Bloodline can get to business. Masterful storytelling in itself. Hey, get that little bastard out of here. It's time to handle the last segment of the show. Did the match go over? Okay, I gotta send the message. Hey, look, that's my story, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sticking to it. All right? We gave y'all enough time. You got your victory. Now get out the way, because truth be told, we got to come get these belts off of y'all anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Pause. I don't think that even matters no more. This is why I said what I said earlier in the show. Camacho don't even matter. Because the new tag team champions that ain't been crowned yet is Tama and Jacob. And Tama ain't even got to be in the ring to do it.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that he beat their ass. He made the tag team belts non-existent in 2 minutes. I have a hot take that I'm going to use right now.
Let's go.
I don't normally do hot takes on any of the shows I do unless I tell you it's a hot take. This hot take is so hot, I don't even think it's a hot take. But for these purposes, for content purposes, I'll do it.
Let's go.
Jacob Fatu is this generation's Brock Lesnar in the WWE.
Wow. But
I have not seen 3 people get destroyed in the manner that they was destroyed since Brock Lesnar debuted. Remember when Brock Lesnar whooped the Hardy Boys' ass?
Yeah.
And we
and
thought
then
he
white
killed
blood
him?
off his chest.
Yes.
Like, oh man.
Jacob Fatu is having that effect on the TV. That when it comes to whooping people's ass, there's only one person that I feel like at this point we could compare him to. And that is Brock Lesnar. To the point where here's my guarantee. When Paul Heyman comes back, Yes, he's going to be back with the homie, Roman. But there's one person that he's going to specifically bring back to face Jacob Fatu. Brock Lesnar ain't done with the WWE, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, man.
Brock Lesnar versus Jacob Fatu is going to happen.
Hey, I like that because even with all the feuds that Brock Lesnar has had, nobody has been able to really and truly match his animalistic energy. There's been guys that have been just as big, just as strong, just as savvy with wrestling, but, or just willing to do anything to win. But even with Roman Reigns, again, Roman Reigns is a very refined and sophisticated Samoan. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't really beast incarnate level, but you can tell he's from the cloth. Jacob Fatu looks like the last yard of the cloth. Like, after this is discontinued. Like, there will be no more. So I love the aspect of Jacob Fatu versus Brock Lesnar. I do believe they should make it happen. This is one of the times where that is a ready for WrestleMania now match, unlike a lot of ones y'all have been throwing out there, not bang, y'all. Okay. So, man, sign me up because it's 2 days.
I believe in this prediction enough. A couple of weeks ago, I said that the fourth man in this match, if they do a Bloodline Civil War, would be Sami Zayn. Oh, nah. If there's a Bloodline, at the point now, especially after what they did to Paul Heyman, I'm at the point now that at Survivor Series, it would be Solo, Tama, Jacob, Camacho versus Roman, Jay, Jimmy, and Brock.
Hey, listen, because you're right. The Heyman angle does bring that together. Because even within all of this, Roman and Brock have never harmed Paul Heyman. They've yelled at him. Maybe roughed him up a little, maybe crinkled his lapels. But they ain't trying to put him down like Solo and them did. So
yeah, they just like, yo.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't like try to harm him enough where he can't show up again.
Right.
And hey, Donnie, I'm not going to mention Tala Tunga until he's actually on screen.
Yeah.
Until he's on screen. Once he's on screen, then Camacho can officially start doing Uber Black.
And not for nothing though. I literally was saying, I was like, hey, look, this bloodline, this new bloodline versus the old bloodline, I mean, they look too sophisticated. They look too sophisticated. They need somebody that can match that animalistic savage energy.
It looked like GD is going to the Cotton Club in 1989.
Hey, so there you have it. So with that, Brock Lesnar levels all it out, especially among white fans. They're like, oh, they got Brock Lesnar though. They automatically now it's automatically nobody's the underdog now. So
ooh, I got you. Matter of fact, I know. Hey, this is not a prediction. This is a spoiler.
Okay.
Donnie just said swap out Camacho with Hakulio. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm just gonna call him Tala Tonga because that's what the WWE has copyrighted. So Tala Tonga debuts by getting the upper hand on the old Bloodline. Paul Heyman still ain't around. It's just Roman, Jay, and Jimmy. And at War Games, Survivor Series, it's Tala Tonga replacing Camacho, because Camacho gonna drive him there, along with Solo and Tama and Jacob. And they're slated to go up against Roman, Jimmy, and Jay. And everybody's gonna be wondering, who's the fourth man? Who's the fourth man? Now, if you want to add Camacho into the match, and Sami Zayn is there, because it normally be 5 people in War Games. Yeah. Who's the fifth man? Who's the fifth man? And then, at War Games, Paul Heyman comes out. And he says, my name is Paul Heyman, and I am the advocate to the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And his partner is, who I am also an advocate for, Brock Lesnar. And that music come on. Oh my God. Boy, Michael Cole, wait a minute, what?
That's a moment.
What?
That's a moment.
All that shit. No. I'm telling you, the Brock Lesnar prop at Survivor Series is going to be massive. And I don't give it. War Games is at Survivor Series, right?
Yeah.
But I think they're doing Bad Blood. They're doing Bad Blood. They announced that in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't care where it happens at. If they keep War Games Survivor Series related, then that's when it's going to happen. But my guarantee, I am willing to put the guarantee around this one, just based off of what we talked about today. I am more than willing to put my guarantee that at War Games, no matter when it happens, for the Bloodline Civil War, it's going to be the Bloodline with Tala Tonga, who would have already debuted, going up against the old Bloodline, Sami Zayn, and Brock Lesnar.
Yep. Hey, man. But what a way to full circle the most profitable stories. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and with that, Kevin Owens isn't far behind because Sami Zayn is in it. So,
well, my thinking is it's time for Kevin Owens to be a heel again. It's time.
Oh, there's always time for Kevin Owens to be a heel.
It's time.
Always. I don't even understand why we've let him be a face this long. Like, I tell you what, man. And obviously, we like Kevin Owens. Obviously, the t-shirts are selling well. But, man, listen. Kevin Owens as a heel is...
Oh, shit,
the minute you see it is top 10 worthy. What's happening?
Damn, this has been a wild weekend. Jacoby Jones, who played for the Ravens, passed away.
Oh, wow. Whoa. What happened?
Yeah. I don't know. Damn.
Hey, Ross, to answer your question, I think Bad Blood further fuels the Roman Reigns type of Roman Reigns solo thing. I think they slow walk the dog to War Games because even Triple H was saying, everybody at Survivor Series ain't gonna be in the War Games match. It ain't for everybody. So, I think it happens. I think it happens organically, but they walk it out. I think Bad Blood is for all the good grudge matches that are not maybe being highlighted as much. But yeah, that's and I think they save all bloodline business for main events at every other PLE. But man, that is terribly sad about Jacoby Jones.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hold on, let me send this text message. All right.
No, you know what? Hey, Donnie, on Jimmy and Jay, I think everybody needs to keep it real that Jimmy versus Jay at WrestleMania didn't live up to any hype. They didn't tell the story as well as I thought they would. The match wasn't as great as I wanted it to be. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, they could wrap that up on a Raw or SmackDown and make up then. And I would be fine with that. I'm happy with Jimmy versus Jay ending in a very dope Raw or SmackDown moment than I am waiting for it for another marquee PLE to resolve it. Because at this point, we don't have anything. We don't have anything for them to do to, I think, reinvest us in the story. All we have is the fact that we would rather see them together than apart anyway. So why not just get to that?
Yeah, I think we're done with this. Mainly because even though that was a dream of theirs to make happen, they don't really want to do that no more after this. They don't want a Bret Hart on our type of situation. Let's go ahead and get back together. And will ATL Bang be going to Bad Blood? I'm always in Atlanta. I've already put in a word to the station.
Hey, Metro.
I've already put in a word to the station like, yo, y'all disinvited me from Birthday Bash.
Hey, that's wild. That's wild too.
You know, y'all disinvited me. Shouts out to Weso. Weso told me in March, hey, we ain't got enough room at Birthday Bash. I said, all right, cool. I get down there in June, and you coming next week to Birthday Bash? Y'all told me it wasn't enough room. Y'all know how y'all can make this up? Bad Blood, right. October 5th.
Believe it.
And suite. Like, let's do it up in the suite. Let's get a suite. Let's get one of them suites, all right, in State Farm Arena. I know y'all good in them. Y'all have Birthday Bash. It sold out. All right, it sold out. With Lotto.
Yeah,
I helped.
That's true.
We need a suite. I need the suite next to wherever the wrestler's gonna be at when they do the film. I need all my shit right. All right. We gonna make sure that happen. Let's move on to Rhea Ripley. She's back.
Yeah, man. Quick, way quicker than I expected, but that's awesome.
Oh well, the honeymoon is over. She got a dick. She's married. She got the dick for the honeymoon. It's over with now. It's time to go back to work. It's time to go back to work. And now she looks to be aiming at Liv Morgan.
For sure.
And reportedly, allegedly, there will be a match at SummerSlam that may contain a stipulation that this is not only for the title, but whoever wins is in Judgment Day. That's something that I saw that I thought was very interesting. It goes into some of the stuff that you've talked about as well.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Rhea Ripley coming back, and does your Finn Balor take last week still ring true?
Actually, yes. Okay, so Rhea Ripley's back. One, great. Even fooled me, but I'm sure she needed her body to take a rest. You know, maybe her shoulder was a little sore. I don't know. Who knows? But I will say it was great to see her back. It was great to see that pop for her. Even though I do think Liv is doing a really good job. I mean, most of her title run is trying to fuck. And you know, how long can we get over with that? You know what I mean? So, I mean, especially when the last champ was really beating chicks up every single week, wouldn't dunking no fades, purposely handing them out. So, you know, even though, again, I think she's doing a good job, That's that. However, to just segue into the second half of your question, this actually makes me double down even more on Finn Balor taking control of the Judgment Day. Have y'all noticed that in all of this, everything Judgment Day, communication-wise, have you realized that only Damian Priest has been talking to Rhea Ripley? Like, have we just noticed that?
Yeah.
Like, she ain't called, text nobody. Finn Balor is like, have you talked to her? No, I'm not talking. I heard she was here. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe, just maybe, they talked 3 months ago. They might have talked 3 months ago. Because the thing is, at first, Finn was on it like, yo, you got to chill. Like, Dom, you got to chill. Like, yo, Rhea's coming back. She's not going to like this. But then Finn Balor started being like, but wait, hold on. I got to listen to somebody that ain't here. I'm Finn Balor. Let me take that room key. And then...
First Universal Champion.
You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, not for nothing, this faction originally started out with Finn Balor being the leader. Like, that was the whole point of replacing Edge. Rhea just outperformed everybody, and we just leaned on that fact. I believe now, matter of fact, here's my, like, partial guarantee of the week. Now that everybody's back and everybody's on Raw, I do think that now is the time for Finn Balor to be like, yo, all this talk about who the leader of Judgment Day, it's me. And I ain't got to say I'm the leader of Judgment Day. Y'all should know it. I'm the reason why we all together in the first place. So we either going to do what I say or we ain't doing shit. And I like that angle. I like that angle because obviously Damian Priest, as the World Heavyweight Champion, is going to be like, look, I ain't got to listen to nobody. I'm the champ. And if you notice, that's been his vibe anyway. Now, Rhea's without a title. And Finn is going to simply be like, hey, look, you either got to coexist or, like you said, yo, women's title up for grabs. Whoever wins it is in Judgment Day, and whoever don't is out. But I think the plot twist with that is, I think no matter what, let's say Rhea beats Liv, I think the setup is then Liv loses the belt, and then Liv is off a dime because now she need a home. And sometimes you got to pick a little something up out the street, clean her up, and put her in your image. And I think that's what Finn Balor want to do. He's like, yo, you can't be serious about messing with Dom. Like, now you ain't got the belt. I know you're not feeling good. Like, I know you're not.
But see, here's the thing. Like, thinking about what you just said, no, now I'm at the point where I can see.
Absolutely, Donnie.
Yeah, that's what I kept saying when I put out, like, yeah, yes.
Hey, listen, real quick.
The PS5 alone to change a nigga mind.
Yeah.
Some nuggets next to it? Oh.
I'm going to leave these two names out of it. But, Donnie, let me tell you how powerful chicken nuggets are. There's a dude that got fired from my store who was now recklessly raw dogging and driving the car around of a woman who bought him chicken nuggets on lunch. It was they went on a lunch date. She put him on these chicken nuggets. He'd been recklessly raw dogging and using her car ever since. So, and I don't know where the nuggets from, but it don't matter. They chicken nuggets, and he recklessly raw dogging and driving her car.
Look,
she cut off her homegirl and her mama because of the chicken nuggets.
Look, man, the PS5 would have did it. The nuggets is just icing on the cake. Let a single nigga get a PS5 from a woman.
Oh yeah,
nigga,
right, listen.
What you talking about, nigga? What?
Naked skis with nuggets. You better believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Like, Now, that depending on how great those nuggets are, you will recklessly skeet after that.
Yeah.
But that's depending on the price, not over $100.
You know what I'm saying?
Man,
so don't let Charlie's get involved with the jumbo tenders.
Yeah,
without warning.
But you walk up and you go over your girl crib house and you just expecting to chill out, Netflix and chill and be irritated. She say, babe, go up in the room. I got something for you. And it's a PS5 on the goddamn bed. Nigga, she might get pregnant that night.
Yeah.
She might get pregnant that night.
At that point, neither one of you are wondering where's the protection.
At all. Like, it's just the simple fact that game is expensive, still kind of hard to find, and you're allowing me to play the game on downtime instead of watching a movie with you, instead of cuddling.
Yeah.
That means it. Yeah. That's what.
And not for nothing. I mean, we kind of missed this era, but we're in a world of gamer girls now.
Oh my God.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, girls are gamers now. Girls are better at games than guys. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of girls that kick my ass at a bunch of games right now. And unapologetic about it.
Yeah, now that might be a fight when you lose your first Street Fighter game to your girl. But after we should go make we gotta have sex now. I'm tired of getting my ass whooped by like Mortal Kombat or some random anime game. Because all of a sudden girls are into wrestling, anime, and video games.
Yeah.
And if they're all connected, oh fuck. Sex will be had.
For sure.
We've done a lot of sidebars today. This is a sidebar show, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what I'm saying?
First Black Champ.
Culture appropriate, though.
Tell a friend. Yeah. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to listen to this podcast. And you're like, which podcast, which episode should I listen to? Oh, no, listen to number 2 is the name of the episode, because I want to get into the number 2. Not taking a dump. Talking about the second in command of a group. The henchman. The person that always look out for the head of the table. We talked about this last week because we talked about Jacob Fatu not necessarily being the number 2. But in this case, he's the number 2. Mm-hmm. The Tama might be the right-hand man, but I don't think the right-hand man can beat up Jacob Fatu at this point. We always talk about the heads of the table. We always talk about Roman Reigns. We always talk about Ric Flair. We always talk about Hulk Hogan, Raven, shit. Mm-hmm. But what about the backups? The true number 2s of this group, or these groups, and how they always hold it down. For example, I was thinking about this since we talked about it. And for me, here are my greatest number 2s in wrestling history. Coming in at number 3. Okay, I'm going to do top 3. Top 3 best number 2s in wrestling history. Coming in at number 3, Jey Uso. I think Jey Uso sat in to his spot, the real right-hand man, and he really, really did his thing with the Bloodline. Coming in at number 2, the second best number 2 in wrestling history, Kevin Nash. It was clear to me that Kevin Nash was the clear number 2 in the NWO. Wasn't Scott Hall, even though he was the first person to get there. It was Kevin Nash. But the greatest number 2 in wrestling history, the greatest henchman for his group, the backup, the person that if that person went down, he held it down. And he not only did this in this group, he did it in other groups too. Because he held down Terry Funk when they was doing that goddamn shit with Colonel Robert Parker. The greatest number 2 of all time, Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson needs more respect. Arn Anderson is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Arn Anderson was the nigga that Ric Flair called when he needed help to get shit done. And if there was a spine buster or DDT needed to knock Sting ass out, Double A, the Enforcer, did it. Who is on your list of the best number twos, the best henchmen of all time?
Man, best henchmen, best number twos. I mean, obviously, I can't deny any of the three that are on your list. Those are always great. I'm gonna go one that I don't know, man. I guess you could kind of pick here, but I'm deadlocked between China and Triple H for DX. You know, like I'm like, hey, one of them was obviously the number two, but sometimes I really don't like. Obviously, Triple H was the two for Shawn, but then China became the two for both of them, and then for just Triple H. So I like both of them being in there.
I didn't even think about China.
Yeah, man. That was pretty official for me. I'm gonna go. You know what? Here's another one because I'm deadlocked here. You now help me determine who's number two because we're gonna go to the flock. And I thought Kidman at first, but I was like, but wait, wouldn't it be more Saturn?
I'm gonna go Saturn.
Yeah, because when people start getting mowed down before the even flow DDT, like it was usually Saturn that put it in the work. And I was like, yo, I think, yeah, because like Kidman was just a great addition to have. So yes, no, I'm gonna go Saturn. I like Saturn in the flock for sure. You know, hey, listen. Even though I didn't like it at the time, I gained appreciation for it. Hey, Batista in Evolution. Batista in Evolution.
I had questions on who was the true number two of Evolution. Was it Randy or was it Batista? And I was thinking, and I said, I believe it's Batista.
Yeah, it's Batista because Randy got the title shot first. It's Batista because he got the world title shot first, and then he was used to put down Randy. so yeah. Let me see here. As I think back, so look, I'm gonna say it like this because technically the person wasn't a wrestler and everybody was number two. But I kind of feel like Haku as a member of the Heenan family should be in this conversation. I kind of feel like he should. Like, yo, whenever Bobby Heenan was in a bind, yeah, he might call Mr. Perfect or Rick Rude, but you know who went in there and got it done every single time? Haku. When Andre wasn't Andre no more, and they needed the worker to get in there and get stuff done, who was part of the Colossal Connection? Oh wait, they weren't Colossal Connection. Haku though. When they teamed Andre up with anybody in the Heenan family, they chose Haku, not Mr. Perfect, not Arn Anderson, not Tully, not Rude. They went with Haku. And to save time, because I've been meaning wildly, my mind went here first. But you know who needs to get more acknowledgement as the number two, even though all of this will never really truly be celebrated in the way I feel it should be in the WWE? I'm gonna go with the Bunny from the Exotic Express and Adam Rose, because the Bunny was going crazy. The Bunny was going crazy out there. And I mean, look, even though some of those matches, I think Adam Rose still ended up losing. But I tell you this, that bunny got his shit off, and nobody messed with the bunny. And I was like, when does the bunny get his own match? I need to be here for that. So I got the bunny from the Exotic Express with Adam Rose, and I think that's like 4 or 5. I just stop right there. Your list is impeccable. Just add everybody else at 4 on down. I don't care.
Looking at some other groups, especially when the WWE starts talking about factions and stuff, and one group that I wish everybody was still in the WWE. But who's the true number 2 of the Undisputed Era? Was it Roderick Strong or Kyle O'Reilly?
I go Kyle O'Reilly, okay, because he became the tag champs with everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ross put up the Main Event Mafia. Would it been Sting as the second or Booker T? I think that's a good question.
Yeah. Man. Automatically, I do lean towards Sting because that is kind of like the faction thing that he did. Like that's high for like his just resume. So I'm kind of going there. But I could see Booker T though.
Did The Rock have a true number 2 in the nation?
No, I don't believe so.
Was he a true number 2 for Farouk though?
No. See, look, here's the deal. If you ask me, the number 2 was always supposed to be D'Lo Brown. But and when Farouk brought in The Rock, it was for him to fall in line. Like he had him like, nah, you actually next to Kama because you just got here. Like D'Lo's the guy. But then The Rock just started doing number 1 stuff. He was like, hey, yo, we beating up people. I got you a new member. Look, here's Mark Henry. Like hey, I was like, oh wait. And he was looking like, bro, you gotta get in line. Like, what are you doing? So I don't believe that was at all, but that's the optics looking at it. Like even the fact that his debut, they gave him a mic and they gave him over 5 minutes to talk. It was like, yeah, that's not number 2 stuff.
I'm trying to think of somebody else. That might be it.
Yeah, I was trying to think. Like a lot of people, like I don't care about like the oddities. It don't matter. Like you can say one of the headbangers. You can say Violent J. I don't care. Like, I don't care.
And the crazy thing about your point around the Heenan family, I would say Andre the Giant was the number 2. Bobby Heenan was the number 1.
Yeah, for sure.
And when Andre left, Mr. Perfect was the number 2. Nobody was going to number 1 or be over Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yeah.
That's how big Bobby the Brain Heenan was. That anybody, even Andre, was the number 2. So I'll probably put Andre the Giant on that list, just thinking about it even more, because Bobby the Brain Heenan was the focal point.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Who was the number 2 in Dudes with Attitude? Was it Lex Luger? Like, was it?
Absolutely.
Goddamn Dudes with Attitudes. Like, yeah, Otunga and Nexus. Who was Wade Barrett? Yeah.
Really? Was it? Oh yeah, because Daniel Bryan's not Daniel Bryan yet. Neither is the dude, the South African dude. I almost called him Peter Gabriel, but that's a singer. That's my man that did Sledgehammer.
It was in Chicago.
Yeah, Ryback didn't talk. Yeah. No, there you go, David Otunga, number 2. Nexus.
We need more respect on the henchmen The number two, the one who was the real right-hand man to the leader of the group.
Yeah.
We need more respect on folks like Arn Anderson. Anytime Rick was in trouble, hey man. And Rick let him go over. When they finally wrestled, Arn Anderson won. So in some of those cases, the number twos, when they actually go up against the number one, they went out.
For sure.
And I remember when it was all dramatic as shit for the first time ever. Ric Flair will be going up against Arn Anderson. It's the four horsemen collide. And Arn Anderson got that win. Who was the number two in the LWO? In the OG LWO?
Hey, listen. I don't even want you to distract me from what I was going to say. Hey, how do you feel Orlando Jordan's work? And this is probably all pause worthy just because of who we're talking about. How do you feel about Orlando Jordan's work as a member of the cabinet?
He was the number. Yes, he was. He was. It wasn't the Bashams.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't the Bashams or Jillian Hall. It was. We need a group like that again.
For sure.
JBL. Hey, John. First of all, John Bradshaw Layfield. We've been seeing the tweets for the culture and that thing. We see you, Playboy. You definitely played the role of a white dude who ain't like niggas very well.
Yeah.
But outside of your work in the ring, we see you.
Yeah, for sure.
We need a cabinet though. We need you to lead a group of people and be a cabinet. Who was the number two though? Was Shelton Benjamin the number two in
Team Angle?
Nah. Bobby Lashley knew.
Oh, Her Business?
Yeah, Her Business. Or was Bobby Lashley the number two, the MVP, or vice versa?
Yeah. See, that's what I have it as. It's because the Hurt Business started, it was MVP just coming out there talking for Bobby Lashley, which made perfect sense. So yeah, no, Bobby Lashley was number two. Hey, look, again, another Heenan family setup. We're just the guy that wasn't wrestling, but obviously could wrestle, and we watched him do his thing back in the day. But yeah, no, it's definitely Bobby. It's hard. Bobby's his own number two as well. You know what I'm saying? And whatever they calling this, because I'm not calling it the Pride, but whatever they doing also, he the number two for himself. Because it ain't Angelo or Montez or B5.
Yeah. It ain't none of them shits. Well, look, man, couple of quick hits before we get out of here. Starting off with LA Knight signs his contract to face Logan Paul, so Logan Paul needs to sign it. Seems like LA Knight is more excited for the United States Championship than he was for Money in the Bank, like you said. Yeah. So is LA Knight the uncrowned United States champion?
Absolutely. He pinned the champ. He was focused on the champ. They made him do a whole segment on how he pinned the champ. So there you have it. LA Knight, next U.S. champion. Let's run it.
I'm a little nervous because Logan Paul is from Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they're going to let him lose in Cleveland. But I'm still going to call him the uncrowned champion.
Yeah.
So there's that. The next quick hit, we have the IC belt. It feels like a fatal four-way is on deck. But who would you like to see be the champ by SummerSlam? Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, what's my man name from Imperium?
Oh, yeah, Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah, Ludwig Kaiser. Almost called him by his real name. Or Chad Gable. Who should be the next Intercontinental Champion?
Sticking with my original prediction, I'm going to stick with Braun Breaker. Although, hey man, listen, Ludwig Kaiser, that's my guy too. And even though I can never share in public what my man J Dub had to say about Ludwig Kaiser when he watched the Royal Rumble, I want to let y'all know that's my guy. I mess with him. But no, it should be Braun Breaker, just because it should be Braun Breaker. Like out of those four, the guy that's ready right now, the guy that looks the most impressive right now, as far as just ring, in the ring, out of the ring, is Braun Breaker. To me, it's not even close. I understand popularity, I understand passion, I understand wanting faces to hold belts, but Braun Breaker, one, he's more over than you might be paying attention to, because they're putting them with just more over people. Like, nobody looks over next to Sami Zayn. But anywhere else, though, Braun Breaker is over. And I think you see that if you put the belt on him.
Last one, Trick Williams surprisingly lost the NXT Championship in a Fatal 4-Way that went crazy. I forgot the new black boy that they got over there, but he flipping. Like that. There's a reason why Ricochet was like, I'm out. And the WWE was like, all right, that's cool. Because I forgot this dude's name that quick, but he be flipping his ass off. He was doing a whole bunch of jumping and shit. That was just like, oh, okay, we see you. Forgot my man's name real quick. But he calls himself the Young OG. Javon Evans, yes. Javon Evans is his name. Thank you, Ross. The Young OG. So you had him. You had Sean Spears, and then you had the eventual winner, Ethan Page, who shockingly won, based off of Trick Williams basically kneeing them both and knocking them out. And Ethan Page fell on top of Javon Evans and got the pin. So looks like we're gonna have a road to the next big pay-per-view that's going to involve Trick Williams trying to get his belt back and become a 2-time NXT champion. But my question to you is, do we need to see Trick Williams anymore in NXT?
Well, no. And I believe last week I said, for all things considered, on the John Cena retirement run, one person I would like to see him in the ring with is Trick Williams. Like I said that, and it's based off of John Cena's appearance on NXT and the conversation that he had with Trick Williams. So, 2-time NXT Black Champ, I'm here for it, but I do believe that they are now trying to cash out. They're trying to invest and cash out instantly on the popularity of Trick Williams. So if he is not on any main roster by October, I would be like, shocked ain't even a word for what I would be, because his popularity seems to be a little bit higher than that NXT bubble, if you will. So I'm here to see that. I don't think we need him there anymore. Not need him there. Now, if he wants to be there and they want to get some more out of it, I get it. But I need.
Yeah. I'm ready to hear whoop that Trick on the main roster.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it to the point where I don't mind seeing Carmelo and him being a tag team on the main roster. As long as he's on the main roster. I don't think he needs to be in NXT any longer. So we'll see what happens from there. Hey, well, look, man, thank y'all for joining us for this 7 years. 7 years. 7 years of First Black Champ podcast. We was doing it on our own. Then we joined the Barbershop Network. We got merch. Thank you to everybody who's bought a pair of merch from us, who's ever kicked it with us, talked shop with us. 7 years, and it's the favorite podcast to do because it talks about something that I love, professional wrestling. So want to shout out everybody who's ever listened to an episode of Barbershare. It was at a point at one time that we was talking on headphone mics.
Yeah.
And
sure.
we was calling the phone line over there in Logic Studio.
Yeah.
Now we got mics.
You know what I'm saying?
We was on Clean Feed for a while.
Yeah.
Now we on StreamYard. Shouts out to everybody who's played a part in the growth of this podcast. 7 years. And we gonna continue this because, hey man, we do this better than everybody. I don't feel that there's a better wrestling podcast outside of us because we don't come here with contrived shit about drop toe holes and all of that shit. And we're not talking about things from an insider perspective.
Yeah.
We have fun with this shit.
Yeah.
So thank y'all for joining us for 7 years.
Yeah, man.
The First Black Champ podcast. Camp, the floor is yours.
Yes, man. 7 years. 7 years of the First Black Champ podcast. Everything that Banks said is absolutely true. Man, it has just been cool to commune and interact with just other wrestling fans, like-minded wrestling fans, and some not so like-minded wrestling fans. Shout out to Greg the Hammer Valentine. And I think most importantly, man, you know, as they say the urban podcast boom is over and just things about podcasting change, you know, as the landscape of how people pod, right? How it changes. I love that we have maintained the consistency of just giving y'all the same conversation. Nothing overly contrived, nothing just dirt sheet heavy, nothing that's giving you emotional opinions about people and how they should be on or off social media as far as wrestling goes. We just are fans. We are fans and supporters of pro wrestling. And I love that the conversation always starts and ends there. And I love that all of you are all a part of that conversation, keeping it in that world. It's a joy. It's one of the best things that I've done with anything media and broadcasting from my perspective. And man, we hope to be around just for as long as we can talk and as long as we can do this. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in. 7 years strong into the First Black Champ podcast, man. We appreciate you. We value you. And just know that it ain't going to stop here because now we write more than ever. 2024 has been the most accurate year. The most accurate year of First Black Champ predictions, rumor, innuendo, storyline, and just a kayfabe, just predictions in general. So, yeah, why stop now? We just really getting good at this. and thank you. And always know that if you ever want to talk about wrestling, you do so by checking out the First Black Champ podcast, Pick, and the VP, DOC, and we are out. Fuck Johnny Wrestling. Jacob, keep beating that ass.
Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you, Jacob.